this lecture, we are going to find how the intensity of the gamma rays decreases inside the matter. So when the gamma rays they travel through the matter, we already have discussed that the gamma rays lose their energy by three main processes. So the first one is the photoelectric effect, second one is Compton scattering, and the last one by which the gamma rays lose their energy inside the matter is pair production. So now we are going to derive the formula of intensity, that how the intensity of the gamma rays decreases, how the gamma rays get attenuated inside the matter. So let's consider a block of some material in which the gamma rays are traveling, and let's say I0 is the intensity of the incident beam. So there will be a large number of gamma photons which will be traveling inside this block. So let's say I0 is the intensity of the gamma rays. Initially, before entering the block, the intensity is I0, and as the gamma rays travel through this matter, their intensity will decrease because it will lose energy, it will lose photons due to these three main processes. So I0 is the intensity of the incident gamma rays. Then capital I is the intensity of the beam after traveling a distance of x inside the matter. So let's say when the gamma rays travels a thickness of x inside the material, the intensity after traveling this much thickness, let's say that is given by capital I. So intensity at this region of the material, that is traveling a thickness of x, the intensity after traveling a thickness of x inside the matter is given by capital I. So the gamma photons, they will be lost inside the material due to three processes. So in the case of photoelectric effect, we already have discussed that the gamma photon gets disappeared. And in the case of Compton scattering, the gamma ray photon gets scattered. It gets deviated from its original path, and we are checking at the intensity of the light which is coming out of this material in this direction. So intensity will be lost inside the material. So the intensity will be obviously less. The intensity of the gamma rays coming out of this material will obviously be less as compared to the initial intensity. And let's say di is the decrease in intensity. So this is the small decrease in the intensity of gamma ray by traveling a thickness of dx inside the material. So when the gamma rays travel a thickness of dx, let's say the decrease in intensity, corresponding decrease in intensity is given by di. So this small decrease in intensity depends upon two factors. First factor is the intensity of the light, intensity of the gamma rays just before entering this thickness dx. This di is directly proportional to the intensity of the gamma rays before entering this thickness dx, and it is directly proportional to the thickness of this element. So if more is the thickness, more will be the decrease in intensity. So this di, decrease in intensity, is directly proportional to the thickness. So when you will club these two terms, so di, decrease in intensity, will be proportional to I dx. And when you will remove this proportionality sign, you will get di is equal to mu times I into dx. So we have introduced a proportionality constant, and this is called as the linear absorption coefficient of the material. So this mu is called as linear absorption coefficient of the material. And also here we will introduce a negative sign because this represents the decrease in intensity. As the gamma ray, as the gamma rays travel more thickness inside the material, means as X increases, the intensity of the gamma rays decreases. Therefore, we have inserted over here a negative sign. So this mu is the linear absorption coefficient. And now we are going to solve this equation, this differential equation. So from here you can take di divided by I on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you will have minus mu dx. Now you will integrate it. To solve this equation, you will have to integrate on both hand sides, and on the left hand side, what will be the limits? So here we have intensity as the variable. So as we have said that intensity before entering the block, before entering this material, the intensity of the gamma rays is I0. So initial intensity is I0. And I0 intensity corresponds to a thickness of 0. So in this case, X is equal to 0. So on the right hand side, we must have the limits of X. So when intensity is I0, the thickness which is traveled inside the material is 0. And after traveling a thickness of X, in the material, the intensity has reduced to capital I. So this capital I was defined as the intensity of the beam after traveling a distance of X inside the material. So when the gamma rays travel a thickness of X in the material, what is the intensity? Intensity is capital I. So now you will solve this equation. So this you will do by yourself. So here you will get natural log, and here you will just get minus mu x, and then you will put the limits, and after solving you will get intensity of the gamma rays, intensity of the gamma beam after traveling a thickness of X inside the material is given by I0, which is the initial intensity before entering the material, into e power minus mu x. So when you will solve this equation, you will end up with this final equation. So as X increases, the intensity of the gamma beam decreases, and this decreases exponential. So the intensity decreases exponentially. It decreases exponentially. So when you will draw a diagram of intensity versus the thickness traveled inside the material, so the graph will come like this. So when X is equal to 0, the intensity is maximum, and that is I0. So when X is equal to 0, intensity of the gamma beam is maximum, and that is I0. And as the gamma beam travels inside the material, means as X increases, the corresponding intensity of the gamma rays decrease exponentially. So there will be an exponential decrease in the intensity of the gamma beam. So this is a type of graph that you will get of intensity of gamma beam versus the thickness traveled inside the material. Now this linear absorption coefficient mu, what is the definition of this parameter? Linear absorption coefficient. Now in this equation, I is equal to I0 into e power minus mu x. In this equation, if you will insert X is equal to 1 by mu. So let's insert X is equal to 1 by mu. So what you will get? Corresponding intensity. So I have fixed the thickness of the material. So let's say I am looking at the thickness which is equal to 1 by mu. So when the thickness is equal to 1 by mu, what is the corresponding intensity of the gamma beam? So the intensity will be I0 into e power minus mu as it is, and instead of X, I will insert 1 by mu. So this will cancel with this one, and I will get intensity at this much thickness, in the material. Intensity is given by I0 divided by E. So from here we define the linear absorption coefficient. So linear absorption coefficient of a medium for gamma rays is defined as reciprocal of the thickness. So from here mu can be written as, So we want to define mu. So mu can be written as 1 by x. So this x is the thickness in the material when the intensity goes to 1 by E of its initial value. So x is the thickness in the material at which the intensity is reduced to 1 by E of its original value. So linear absorption coefficient of a medium for gamma rays can be defined as reciprocal of the thickness of the medium, reciprocal of that thickness of the material at which the intensity of the gamma rays reduces or decreases to 1 by E of its initial value. So this linear absorption coefficient is defined as reciprocal of that thickness of the medium at which the intensity of the gamma rays goes to 1 by E of its initial value. So this is how we define the linear absorption coefficient of a medium for the case of gamma rays. Now we also define the mass absorption coefficient of the medium, and this is represented by mu m. And mass absorption coefficient of a material is defined as the ratio of linear absorption coefficient, to that of density of the material. So mass absorption coefficient of a material is defined as the ratio of linear absorption coefficient to the density of the material. And in this way, we make this parameter independent of the physical state of the matter. So we are dividing it by density of the material. So the linear absorption coefficient is dependent upon density. And when we divide the linear absorption coefficient by density of the material, you make this parameter, this mu m, independent of the physical state of the material. So the absorption coefficient, mass absorption coefficient for the case of water vapor, or for the case of water, or for the case of ice is the same. So mass absorption coefficient of water vapors, which is the gaseous form you can say, and the water, which is a liquid state, and the ice, which is a solid state. So mass absorption coefficient for all these three will be the same, because we have divided the linear absorption coefficient of these each material by their density. So in this manner we have made this parameter independent of the density. So the unit of mass absorption coefficient is meter square per kilogram. So when we will calculate its SI units, it will be meter square per kilogram. So intensity can be written in terms of mass absorption coefficient. As we know, it is I0 into e power minus mu x, where mu is the linear absorption coefficient. And over here mu m is given by mu divided by the density, So from here mu can be written as rho into the mass absorption coefficient. So intensity can be written in terms of mass absorption coefficient as I0 into e power. In terms of mu, you will write mu m into rho times x. So this will be equal to I0 into e power minus mu m x into e power minus rho x. And next we define the half value thickness. We define half value thickness of the material x half. So intensity is given by I0 into e power minus mu x. So we define a thickness of the material at which the intensity of the gamma beam reduces to half of its original value. So original intensity before entering the material was I0, and we define a thickness of this material such that the intensity after traveling that thickness reduces to half of its original value, and that thickness, that corresponding thickness, is called as half value thickness of the material. So when you will put I as I0 divided by 2, so intensity intensity reduces to half of its initial value. So this will be equal to I0 into e power minus mu, and instead of x we can write x half. So x half represents the half value thickness of the material. So we have written half in the subscript. So this is a thickness inside the material, a particular thickness of the material when the intensity of the gamma beam reduces to half of its initial value. And when you will solve it, you will get e power mu x half is equal to 2. So when you will solve it, further simplify it, you will get this equation, and when you will take natural log, you will get mu into x half is equal to natural log of 2. And further x half will give you, so x half will be equal to 0.693 divided by mu. So when you will solve this natural log, you will get x half is equal to natural log of 2 divided by mu, and that is 0.693 divided by mu. So this is the thickness of the material, half value thickness of the material when the intensity of the gamma beam reduces to half of its initial value. Now we have seen that the gamma photons lose their energy by three main processes: the photoelectric effect, the Compton scattering, and the pair production. So this decrease in intensity which we are talking about, this decrease in intensity di, this is because of these three processes. So decrease in intensity is due to photoelectric effect, plus the decrease in intensity due to Compton scattering, plus the decrease in intensity due to pair production. So these three processes contribute to the net decrease in intensity. So we can write this di, this can be written as decrease in intensity due to photoelectric effect. So I have written PE in the subscript. So this represents the decrease in intensity due to the photoelectric effect, plus decrease in intensity due to Compton scattering, and the third one, decrease in intensity due to pair production. So this decrease in intensity due to photoelectric effect, as we know, di, this di is written as minus mu I dx. So this is written like this. So DIPE, di due to the photoelectric effect, decrease in intensity due to photoelectric effect, can be written as, in the same form we can write minus mu I into dx, and over here this mu, instead of this mu we will write as mu PE. So this is the linear absorption coefficient corresponding to photoelectric effect, and this is called as partial absorption coefficient. So this is called as the partial absorption coefficient corresponding to the photoelectric effect. And in the similar manner we can write the decrease in intensity due to Compton scattering is equal to minus mu CS. So this represents the partial absorption coefficient corresponding to Compton scattering I dx as it is. Similarly, decrease in intensity due to pair production is written as minus mu pair production corresponding to pair production I dx. And as we have written, di is equal to diPE, the due to photoelectric effect, plus decrease in intensity due to Compton scattering, plus decrease in intensity due to photoelectric effect. When you will add all these three equations, you will get the net decrease in intensity, the total decrease in intensity of the gamma beam. So di will be written as sum of these three equations, and when you will do the summation, you will get di is equal to, so over here in this equation you will insert the right hand side of each equation. So you will just get minus of mu PE plus mu CS plus mu PP I dx as it is. So we have just clubbed these three equations over here and we have taken I dx common. So you will get net decrease in intensity is equal to this factor. And this particular term mu corresponding to photoelectric effect, the absorption coefficient corresponding to Compton scattering, and the coefficient corresponding to pair production. All these three, they are called as partial absorption coefficients corresponding to photoelectric effect, Compton scattering, and pair production respectively. So these are the partial absorption coefficient, and their summation is equal to their sum. The sum of all these three coefficients is equal to mu, because di is equal to minus mu I dx, and over here we have minus this term I dx. So obviously when you will compare this term with this equation with this equation, you will see that mu is equal to summation of all these three absorption coefficients, and this is called as this is the total linear absorption coefficient, whereas these are the partial absorption coefficients. So this is the total absorption coefficient and these are the partial absorption coefficients. Now in this diagram, I have drawn the cross section versus the energy of the gamma ray. Cross section of the interaction of gamma ray with the matter, and we have energy of the gamma ray on the horizontal axis. So this particular graph which I have drawn over here, this curve, this one, so this you have already seen in the case of photoelectric effect. So there also we had drawn a graph of, we have plotted a graph of cross section of the photoelectric effect versus energy, and the graph came out to be like this. So this was the plot of how the cross section varies with the energy of the gamma photon, and there we saw that we get peaks. So this corresponds to the K absorption edge, this corresponds to L absorption edge, and so on. So this curve, this particular curve, this one, this represents, this corresponds to the photoelectric effect. So this curve you get in the case of photoelectric effect. And the gamma photon loses energy due to Compton scattering also. So some of the gamma photons in the gamma beam will lose their energy by Compton scattering, and Compton scattering cross section is given by the variation of Compton scattering cross section versus energy is given by this curve, this dotted curve. So this represents the variation of cross section of Compton scattering with energy of the gamma photons, and at last we have the variation of cross section of pair production versus energy, and that is this one. And over here you can see that before some value of energy, the cross section of pair production is negligible, it is almost zero, and that is because energy, minimum energy which is required by the gamma photon to produce two pairs, to produce a pair of electron and positron, is 1.022 megaelectron volt. So this much energy must be present inside the gamma photon so that it can cause pair production inside the material. So energy of the gamma photon must be greater than or equal to this value, only then pair production will occur, and this we have already seen in the previous lecture. So therefore, in the case of pair production, you can see that at low energies, at low values of energies, you can say less than 1.022 megaelectron volt, the cross section of pair production is 0. So cross section starts at about this value, at 1.022 megaelectron volt value of energy of gamma photon, and after that the cross section increases. As the energy of the gamma photon increases, the cross section of pair production increases, and you can see that at high energies, at high values of energies, the pair production dominates. So you can see that the Compton scattering cross section decreases at high energies, and also the pair production cross section decreases drastically at high energies, and pair production dominates at high energies of gamma photon. So when the energy of the gamma photon is in mega electron volts, in that case the pair production dominates. So there are more chances that the photon will lose its energy by pair production. And in the middle values of energies, means at around 1 mega electron volt or less than 1 mega electron volt, Compton scattering dominates. So over here Compton scattering dominates because it is greater than that of pair production as well as the photoelectric effect. So at these values, that is about 1 mega electron volt or less, the Compton scattering process dominates. And at low values of energies, means the energies are in kilo electron volts of gamma photon, in that case the pair production process dominates. So more photons will lose their energy by pair production. So there are more chances of by photoelectric effect. There are more chances of photoelectric effect to happen. So more gamma photons will lose their energy by photoelectric effect when the energies are low, means in kilo electron volt region, and when the energies of the gamma photon is 1 mega electron volt or less, in that case Compton scattering dominates. And at high values of gamma photon energies, that is in mega electron volts, pair production dominates. So when you will draw the graph of net cross section, the total cross section, so this cross section of the interaction is directly proportional to the absorption coefficient. More is the absorption coefficient, more is the cross section. So this is directly related with the absorption coefficient. So in some books you will find this graph drawn in terms of absorption coefficient. So in some books you will see that absorption coefficient is taken on the vertical axis and on the horizontal axis you have the energy. So cross section is directly proportional to the absorption coefficient in the case of gamma rays. So when you will draw the net graph, when you will draw the net curve of cross section versus energy, so at low values you will see that photoelectric effect dominates, and as energy comes in the region of mega electron volt, 1 mega electron volt or less, in that case Compton scattering dominates and the graph looks like this. So you get a net curve, the summation of all the processes. We get a summation of all these processes and that will give us the net curve. And at high values of gamma photon energies, the pair production dominates. So this is the kind of graph that you get of total cross section versus energy of the gamma photons in mega electron volts.